Happy Thursday. We're back for our regular scheduled program. Happy Thursday. You know the drill. Let me share it on these platforms. And so while I am sharing, I need you to share it too. Okay. So while I'm sharing, you share it too. Give me 1 second. Let me share. I hope your week has been going well. My week, my week been going good. Like I cannot complain. I cannot complain. I want to make sure I'm sharing it. So give me 1 second. I don't know why when I'm on LinkedIn it looks fuzzy. Like it comes on fuzzy. I don't know why, but I'm fuzzy on there. Let me share real quickly. Share some more. Mm, okay. Let's work. Oh. Give me 1 more second. Let me share. Okay, so I shared it on my page. Now let me share it to my group. Mm, okay, 1 second. Boom, I got it. Okay, I feel like we're good. Okay, let me get my life together on my Instagram page, and then we can get this rolled on the show. What I have to say is live. Okay, move up some. I be feeling like half my body be in the. Uh, okay. Hey, happy Thursday. If you're watching this on a replay, can you share it out for me, please? We're going to get started on our normal um, Thursday program. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Hello, how are you? How's your day? How you been? How's your week? How's it going? Hey, hello, hello, hi. How you feel? How you doing? How's how you been? How's life? Let me give it a couple minutes. Hey. Let me see. 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 I've talked about this before. I have a whole free training on this. But I guess we're gonna do it live. Let's do it. Okay, Ellie, thank you. So let's do it. Where's everybody located? Let me know where you are from. Where are you from? Let me know where you are located. Where are you? Where are you now? I don't care. Like, oh, you was born in Egypt and now you live in LA. Like, where do you currently live? Where do you currently live? Not where you're from. Where do you live right now at the moment? Houston, Jersey. Okay. North Carolina. Jersey. Okay, Jersey. I see you a few times. All right. Dallas. Kentucky. Okay, Kentucky. I've never been to Kentucky. Well, I've never wanted to go to Kentucky. Louisiana. I was just talking about y'all people in Louisiana, but I was talking about New Orleans though. Like Bourbon Street is the nastiest street I've ever been on in my life. Like you could keep that street. New York City. All right, New York. New York is my least favorite place too. Detroit. Hey, Detroit. Ohio. I like Ohio. It is. Baby, I'm talking about on Bourbon Street, I seen somebody throw up, shit, and piss like 5 minutes within each other. I was like, never do they do that on the street. Like, it was the worst smelling place I've ever been in my life. Like, this what y'all be running to? This, this way y'all flock to? I don't do that. And if the restaurants right here too, like, you don't smell that shit trying to eat your food, like, it was just like horrible. You ain't never got to worry about me coming back on that street ever in life. I've never been to Philly before. But baby, that street on Bourbon Street, you get somebody else to do it. And it always got the nerve to be expensive for a flight to New Orleans. Like, why is it so expensive in these dirty streets? Like, it was just, I know if you are a native, you like, that's our culture. That's what we do. Like, I get it. You just ain't gotta, it just won't be me no more. Because somebody was like, New Orleans, they move. And I was like, oh, okay, girl, have fun. I ain't going. But today, hey, Janelle. Hey, Brittany. So today, I've talked about this before. At least, I don't know, like a lot of times. Okay. So I want to tell you how to run your coaching and consulting business on a budget. Okay. On a budget. Because I ran my coaching and consulting business for the first like 4 or 5 years on like a $50, $60 budget. Like, and it looked like I was spending a lot of money. So it don't have to look like, it don't have to cost a lot to look like a lot, right? It just has to be in order, right? It has to be cohesive. It has to flow. It has to make sense. So I'm going to give you these steps today. So if you are ready, put ready in the comments. You already know how we do. Crowd participation is a must. So if you are ready, put ready in the comments. If you can share this out, I would so greatly appreciate it. Share with you, your friend. Share with like 3 of your friends. I would appreciate that. Okay. So if you are ready, put ready in the comments. Ready. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this live up. Not quite sure about that. So yeah, we need crowd participation. Don't give me dusty energy. You know we don't do that over here. Okay. We don't give dusty energy over here. We give great energy. Give great energy over here. Okay. Ready. There you go. Come on. Ready. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. So, number one, if you're taking notes, right? You know, I'm all about a note and then a sub and then a sub. Okay. So, if you're taking notes, I got you. So, number one, right? Prospect. If you get the prospect, where does the prospect go? If I'm on your live right now, right, and you on live, and I'm like, hey, I would love to work with you. If you have questions, comments, and concerns and want to get on my schedule, click the link in the bio or go to bit.ly work with Bianca right now, and get on my calendar. Where am I going? Like, where am I going for that to happen? So you have to have a CRM system, right? A CRM system is a customer relation management system. A customer relation management system. Sorry. Let me see. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me okay? Let me know. Can you still hear me? I forgot to turn my phone on airplane mode. I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Let me know. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes. Yeah, okay. Because when I call, sometimes it messes up the sound. So you need a customer relation management system. So you need a CRM system. I'm not talking about your Calendarly or your Acuity. That's just for people to make appointments. That's just an appointment setter. So I'm not talking about a Calendarly or Acuity or like Gmail. Like, I'm not talking about that. You need a customer relation management system. So you know how when you go into the doctor, and they could pull up your whole history, your whole medical history. That's their CRM system. You know how you call Sprint and you say, hey, something wrong with my phone. It keeps going out. They're going to say, hey, last week I know you talked to April and April did such and such. And the week before that, you got to talk to Bob and Bob did such and such. So yeah, I understand it's a problem. What seems to be the problem right now? Like, that is the brains of the business. And so the CRM system is all my business, my name, my birthday, where I live at, any documents that we've shared between one another, how many times you've been on my schedule, Like your CRM system is the brains of the business. So I'm not talking about like a Calendarly or an Acuity. That's just to set an appointment. But if you're going to be doing this if you're going to be doing this for real, right? Even if it's part-time, like you got to have the systems to be able to do business in the way that you want to do business. So even if it's like, oh girl, I ain't really taking it seriously, like I'm just dabbling a little bit, your systems need to be serious. Just because you playing, the systems needs to be for real. So your CRM system, a customer relation management system. So some people use Honeybook, some people use Dubsado. I use Vcita, VCITA. Vcita, I've been using them since I started business. They're a client of mine, so I'm going to keep using them. But I do like Honeybooks. I do like Dubsado. So you need a CRM system. You need a customer relation management system. Most of the time, they usually have a low cost or a free version. Like it's maybe like $20. I know when I started, let's just say when I started, my CRM system was only $20, right? So let's just say your CRM system is $20. You need one of those, okay? You're going to need that to house the clients. You're going to need that for scheduling purposes. You're going to need one of those, okay? If you don't have any other system in your business, a CRM system should be all you need to be able to get the job done. So you need a CRM system. So now that you have the prospect, so now that, I'm like, okay, I want to work with you. I have some questions. Okay. Just if you take a note, you need a CRM system. You need the intake form, right? So CRM system. And so that's 1A, right? If you're taking notes, 1 is CRM system. 1A is an intake form. You need a good intake form. The better the questions, the better the quality of the client and or the customer that you're trying to acquire. This ain't the training where I'm trying to tell you what questions you should put on there, because it's an art within itself on how to do that. But stop asking, how long you been in business and what's your product and what you want to talk about. Those is basic questions. Have your intake form be a little lengthy, right? If they can't enter the information that they need to get some help, that ain't the person that you need to be working with. If they don't fill out the intake form in its entirety and they put non-applicable, we'll talk about it on the call. Don't get on the call. You don't want to go into the situation blind. You need all the information that you can get to be able to properly handle this call on a person. It's just like when you go to the doctor and they tell you to fill out these forms. Well, if you don't tell me you a smoker and you just like, oh, I'll tell you when we get there, and I don't know that you a smoker, and now that I gave you the wrong medication or I put you on anesthesia, too long, or took you off too soon, it's a lot of complications that can happen. So you need to be very clear about the intake form. Have some questions. I like between 5 to 10 questions. Is this going to be saved on my work? I don't know, Latrice. It just depends. I don't know. Get you a friend and tell your friend to come in here and take some notes. Get you a friend. I don't know. So for the intake form, 5 to 10, okay. But if you could do 15 questions, great. Because it's going to weed out the people that really don't want no help. Like, you know what? I ain't about to fill out all this shit. Okay, I don't want you. Like, cool. Right? But the person that really want your help and is really looking to work with you, they will fill out the intake form. So you're trying to put these barriers in to disqualify people that don't want to do the work and ain't going to do shit no way. So make your intake form longer. Have good questions. Questions, based on your fight. Okay, so I always say the minimum value offer, right? Or a minimum level of engagement. That's saying that I have nothing less than this. My minimum level of engagement, to work with me starts at an investment of $5,000. Is that something that is within your budget? If they say no, it don't matter what you say. They don't have $5,000. So, what you gonna do to help them? If that's how much it costs and you don't have it, what I'm gonna do? I don't know. But for me, right, I don't know what you're gonna do, but for me, 90% of my money now comes from digital products. So I'm cool with you not having the money. Cause I'm like, it's okay, no problem. Cause on my intake form, it says the minimum level of engagement and the investment is this much. Based on this amount, how will you want me to solve your problem? Number one, that isn't a problem. I'm able to pay that. 2, I'm going to need a payment plan. 3, I'm looking for digital resources to be able to help me, right? I got options. So it's not like, oh, if you don't have the money for the minimum level engagement, I can't work with you. No, we have options, right? So If that's not a problem, cool. If you need a payment plan, cool. If your money kind of funny, but you really need some support, I have some digital products to be able to help you. But I know how to tackle on a call. A lot of you like talk to these people and you selling a $10,000 service and all they got is $30. You know how a person give you their whole life story? Hey, money. You know how a person tell you their whole life story for $40 and you ain't giving them $40? That's how it is. Like y'all be on the calls, like selling your entire heart out, and baby, I just got laid off. I have way more bills than I have money, right? So you didn't ask the proper questions, but you're getting on the phone like, okay, I'm gonna close this client that's gonna help me pay my mortgage. Whole time they can't even pay their own mortgage. Whole time they have no disposable income. That's another question I put on there. Like and so I asked that, like, once you pay all the bills that you need to live, how much disposable income do you have left each month to invest in this goal? Put a range. Under 100, under 5, under 1,000, over 1,000, 0. Like, ask the questions. Like, you gotta have, the better the questions, the better quality of client you'll get. So make sure when you are doing your intake form, ask some questions. Like, the better the question, the better the quality of a client. Okay. So 1 is you need a CRM system. 1A is you need some intake questions. If they don't answer the question, they don't answer the question, you don't get on the phone. Okay. If they don't answer the question, you don't get on the phone. If they say we will discuss when we get on the call, we not getting on the call. If they say we'll discuss later, you need to fill this out now. Because what they're trying to say is they're about to play in your face on this call. I've been doing this for 11 years. Trust me. What they're saying is they're about to play in your face on this call. It's a no for me. I need to know the direction of where I'm going before I get on this call. I need to know, because if you said these are your problems, but this your budget, I need to find resources to be able to help you within your budget. So I'm not just walking into this conversation blind. I need the right tools to be able to properly do my job. So if you, as a person that say you need help, can't give me the tools to properly do my job, I'm not doing my job. I'm not doing it. You find somebody else to do it. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the job. Okay. So you have to be clear. You're the professional. You came over here to work with me. We got to be mutually beneficial to one another. We got to work well together. I made a post about that. I respect people, processes, and systems. I respect the barriers that you have put into place to qualify quality clients. If people don't respect your processes and your systems, it's not a person you should be working with. Because what they're really saying is they don't respect you. What they're really saying is, based on all the work that you did, they don't care about that. So if they're already telling you that they don't respect your processes and your systems, why are you trying to work with them? Like, it don't make sense. It's just like a person you want to be in a relationship with clearly saying, I don't want to be with you. I want to be with somebody else. I don't like you. I want to be with somebody else. And you steady trying to make this person be with you. Like, if that's what they said, that's what they said. They look like a duck and quack like a duck. It's a duck. Stop trying to interpret. Well, maybe they going through a rough time. Right. Let me know when you're ready. But if a person does not respect your processes and your systems, that is not a person you should take. Because I'm not calling Amazon like, you know what? Jeff, I need you to package my order. I know that's Brittany's job, but I just paid the money. So I need you to package my order. I'm not going into Chick-fil-A like, where the owner at? I need you to make my sandwich. Not her. Over here, I need you to do it. We not doing that. We ain't going to Popeyes like, what the owner at? I want you to make my chicken. Like, the process and systems are set in place for a reason. And the caveat to that is, as you grow, like me, right? I have a team, right? I have an entire team. So even though, like, yeah, I like to do my intake calls, like, because as I told you last week, when other people are doing your sales calls, their goal is to sell. My job is to give you resources. I want you to win, whether you work with me or work with somebody else. So I'm not trying to make it fit if it don't fit, right? I'm not trying to sell you on shit you don't need. But a salesperson, they're going to make it make sense because they get commission, their job is on the line. They're going to figure out how to make it make sense. So when other people do your sales calls and when other people are in charge of that division, not saying that they don't do a good job, I'm just saying their goal is to sell, right? That's what you paid them to do. So I like to do my own sales calls because my job isn't to sell. My job is to give you resources. My job is to figure out how to make this work for you. My job is to figure out if we are a good fit. My job is to figure out if you're going to do the work that I tell you to do. It's my job to figure out if you work well with the team that I have. It's my job to figure out if you difficult. It's my job to figure out if you're going to give my team a hard time. It's my job to figure out if you're just a payer and you ain't going to do the work. Like, it's a lot of qualifications that go into it. So when I am doing the sales calls, I'm doing it from a different perspective. I'm not trying to sell you on the highest thing if that's not what you need, right? I'm just trying to give you the resources. Most of the time, I'll be like, oh, okay, well, that sounds good. That ain't what I do. Let me give you such and such information because they can help you with that. Or, that sounds like a good idea. You're not ready for that yet. So it ain't no purpose of me trying to sell that to you because you ain't even going to do the work because you don't even have this foundation for this to be able to happen. So, let me give you this digital product and we can go back to it. So I like to do my own sales calls. Other people don't. But I feel like I like them. So that's the part that I'm going to do. You have to figure out when you're doing these calls, when you grow, you start to have a team. So instead of you being a solopreneur and you doing the work, now for me, I'm the onboarder. So I'm going to onboard you. I'm going to do the plan. I'm going to tell you what the plan needs to look like. I'm going to tell you how the project needs to flow. I'm going to give you all of that. But I'm not the person that does the work, right? Whatever works, Latrice. I hear you, baby. I'm not the person that does the work, right? I have a team. So when I'm doing a call too, I'm trying to make it so you understand that just because you talking to me now, I'm not the person that do the job, right? I have a team that does the job. So if you looking for Bianca to fry your chicken, if you looking for Bianca to package your order, if you're looking for Bianca to make the donuts, we can't work together because I have a team. They're very qualified. I've trained them properly. They do the job better than me because they do this every single day. So also when I'm doing my sales call, just because you're talking to me now, just because I onboarded you, I'm not the person that do the meetings every week. I'm not the person that show up every single day. I'm not the person answering the emails. I'm a CEO. I'm not the worker. So I am in full CEO mode. It's my job to close the clients. It is my team's job to nurture the clients, do the work for just like when you worked at your corporate job. It wasn't your job to go out there to get the check to be able to pay for payroll. When you worked at your corporate job, it was a job description that you fulfilled, right? So when you worked at your corporate job, it wasn't your job to figure out how payroll was going to work, right? It was, I'm going to do my job. In exchange for me doing my job, I'm going to get a check in 2 weeks. It is my job to make sure that I make you feel good, that I onboard you, that I explain the policies, the procedures, that I understand. I explain everything to you. And then I'm offboarding you to the team because the team do the work. Bianca don't do the work. So if you like, hey, I want to work, but I want Bianca to do the job. I don't want your team to do the job. That's not a client for me. Because that's saying you stunned my growth. That's saying that you don't feel like I have a quality person. That's saying that the CEO of the company that hired you shouldn't have hired you, right? Because that means that you're saying that the CEO is the only person that know how to do the job, right? That means that they didn't trust you. They shouldn't have had you if the CEO could do the job. They shouldn't have had you. That's what you're telling me when you're saying, I want to just I don't okay, like I don't want you to give it to Ellie. I don't want you to give it to Reese. I don't want you to give it to Brianna. I want Bianca to do it. Cool. This where the road stop. It ain't nothing we can do, baby. I wish you the best in your business endeavors. But that ain't what we doing. So when you do your own calls, it sets the tone. Now, a lot of people don't like to do their own calls, right? I don't understand why you don't. But I know you like, I got better things to do, but that's a money generating activity for you to be able to do your calls. Like some money generating activity for you to do your calls, for you to qualify your people and make sure that you're getting good leads that are inside, right? So I know y'all, I'm in my CEO mode. I don't want to do anything, right? Doing your own calls, the discovery calls, the qualifying calls will definitely increase your overall bottom line, take your business to the next level, and it will weed out a lot of the things that if you pass them off to somebody else, it will weed out a lot of the things that's happening. Just like when you go to the restaurant, the front of the house manager is in there. It's the front of the house manager. They greeting you. They walking around. They asking you got any questions. They asking you, can they refill your drink? You know what I'm saying? They helping the bus boy. They helping with the food. Like, like, okay, service gonna get done well in here because it's the person that is in charge that is helpmated. I am the helpmate to the team. So yeah, when you come into the restaurant, even though I own the restaurant, I'm not the cook. I'm not the busboy. I'm not taking the order, right? I'm supporting the team. So if the food's slow, I'm bringing the food out. If the drink's low, I'm bringing the drinks out. If the wait staff in front is messed up, I'm busting the tables. Like I'm the help, but I'm not the doer. Right, Alicia, when I do my sales calls, because I don't, I only work with a certain amount of people. So when I do the sales calls, like that's when I found out information about new products to put out, what lives I can do, what trainings I can do, what speaking engagements I need to do, like what I can add. So when you do those calls, it's a game changer. But a lot of you can't do calls because, and remember, I'm never talking at you. I'm talking about who was me. I didn't do discovery calls because I am a problem solver. So there's no way you could tell me the problem and then I just don't solve it. So even though the discovery call was free and it's supposed to be 15 minutes, we're on this call for 2 hours. And I wonder, like, well, why they didn't give me no money? Right? Because I've solved the problem on the call. Bam for the soul. Okay, so you got to do what Latrice did and just record your screen, baby, because I don't know if this live going to be up or not. So just record me on your screen, okay? So I couldn't do the calls. Like I couldn't figure out how to do a 15-minute call because I'm like, man, times you about to tell me your problem and I can't solve it. Whole time that was hurting my cash flow. That was hurting my overall business. Like it was hurting me by a default. So I'm like, I'm not doing no 15-minute calls. I'm not doing no discovery calls. Like if they want it, they're gonna have to pay for it. How they know that you can give them what they want if you don't talk to them? And my business model is different. You just can't go to my website and just book what you want to book because I don't work with everybody. And a lot of you are refunding money, and a lot of you have a lot of clients who are not in alignment with you, and they're not a good fit because you didn't qualify them. You just like, girl, yeah, I got this package. You go back. Okay, yeah, we can work together for 6 months. Go ahead and click it. Like you're not vetting these people properly. Vetting process is a whole totally different life, but you're not vetting these people properly. You just figuring because they can purchase that they're a good fit. All bullshit aside. I've been doing this for 11 years. So if bills is due, bills is due, right? Don't get up here like, okay, you've been doing it for 10 years, so you different. I'm always going to keep it a buck. If rent is due and you got to figure out how to make it work, figure out how to deal with the difficult client and figure out how to make it work. If you got more bills and you have money, don't listen to what I'm saying, okay? Do what you have to do. And then on the next one, you can figure out how to do it better, okay? I'm never about to tell you, okay, well, if they don't do this and they don't do that, you don't take them. I'm speaking of experience in business maturity that has been doing this for a long time. But in the beginning, figure out how to make it work. If they're going to be irate, you figure out how to make it work. You're not re-signing them, but we're going to figure out how to make it work right now. So I'm never telling you like, oh, don't do that and don't say that and don't do this. If bills is due and it's due, you got to do what you got to do, okay? You just know better for next time. I'm really good at this now because I figured out how to do better for next time. So it's my job to give you the signs like, oh, that look like a duck. It quack like a duck. I don't want to work with her for 6 months, but I could put up with her for 90 days, right? You have to be able to understand first what your bank account look like, right? What does your bank account look like? What's the goal? Where you trying to go? We've all worked with difficult people at our job who we couldn't stand, but we had to get the job done, right? So I'm never telling you that, right? Never, okay? If you got to work with a difficult client because you trying to move and your kid tuition due and you trying to, pay off whatever your situation is, go off. Just know this what you walking into. And when you do these calls, you're clear on what you walking into. Like, oh, okay, it was supposed to come with 6 calls. Baby, I ain't gonna be able to talk to her every twice a week. Whew, okay, well, let's just do one call. Oh God, I ain't gonna be able to talk to her for 3 hours. Let's do an hour and then we can do email support and then we can do some check-ins. Who can help me with these check-ins? Right? So you start to really maneuver. So don't listen to Bianca like now that. And the caveat to that is I have multiple streams of revenue. Remember, we talked about this last week. That's not the only way I make my money. So if I don't take the client over here, I got most stuff coming over here. That's why I tell you to diversify as a whole. Because if you don't want to take this client, you're gonna take another client or you're gonna sell more products, you're gonna sell more speaking engagements, you're gonna get some more, you're gonna, go back to old clients and make them new clients. So it just kind of just depends on the season of where you are. Okay. Damn, we still on number one. Okay, let me hurry up. Number one, you need a CRM system. 1A, you need good intake form. Okay. You need a good intake form. The better the questions, the better the quality of a client. Okay. The better the questions, the better quality of a client. And so our 6-month membership program, Dope Genius Society, is a 6-month program where we help aspiring entrepreneurs start their coaching and consulting business in 6 months. I would love, even if you're not inspiring, in my mind, if you haven't made 6 figures yet, it's something that is wrong with the infrastructure. So if you are aspiring or you have not made 6 figures yet in your coaching business, you should work with us for 6 months in this coaching program where we're going to build it from scratch. So even if you're a corporate professional and you're trying to start your own side coaching business, or, you're trying to quit your job now to do it full time. I got a lot of people who have enrolled that's like, I do it, but I don't really do it like that. But I'm really trying to transition and do this full time. So if that is you, you can just go to, if you're watching this, just inbox me and we can talk about it. Right. Just inbox me and we could talk about it. If that is you, we can hop on a call and we could talk about it. Okay. So number 2, now that the person has went to the intake form, right, and they filled all of this information out, number 2, how you gonna have a conversation? Stop giving people your cell phone numbers. Stop giving people your cell phone numbers. Stop giving people your personal cell phone number. You don't even give them your business cell phone number. They got tools for that. Free conference call is great, right? I use free conference call for forever. Okay. It's absolutely free. You can also do video, right? Like, like video calls, right? Free conference call is absolutely great. Okay. You need to record the call. Right. So when you get on a call with me, I'm gonna say, oh my God, I'm super excited to talk to you. And no worries, you don't have to take notes because I'm gonna record it. And when I finish, I'm gonna send it to you. Okay. You gotta let them say okay back. You just can't start recording. You have to let them say okay back, right? So, hey girl, I know it's okay. You in a car, you with your kids, it's okay. I'm gonna record the call. You don't have to take notes if you don't want to, because as soon as we are finished, I'm gonna send a call to you, right? Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you so much. Then you start to record. Those recordings is to protect you and to protect them too. Okay. So record your calls. Stop letting people call you on your cell phone number. Record the call. So when they book the call, they should get a link. Free conference call. I had this my same link. And free conference call, I used to have a number. So free conference call is free, but I pay for storage and I pay for a number. Because I don't want you to call it and then got to put a me number in and then put a passcode in. Like, I didn't like that. I feel like when you call, we should just already be together. So free conference call worked great for me. It worked wonders for me. I used it for forever. The only reason I don't use it, I've never had any glitches. I've had trainings to up to like, because it holds up to 1,000 people for free. Now, I don't know what has happened since COVID. So I haven't used free conference calls since 2019. So I don't know what has happened since COVID and their prices and their rules and their regulations, but it was free from 2012 to 2019 when I was using it. Only reason why I don't use it anymore is because it doesn't have a lock option for you to not unmute yourself. You know how you mute everybody? Well, if you press something on your phone, it'll just unmute you. So it's no way to lock it so that you don't come off mute. So it's messing up the quality of my training. So that's the only reason why I stopped using free conference call for trainings, but I use it for calls. So number 1 is you need a place to have the call, right? So it could be free conference call, it could be Zoom. A lot of people use Google Voice, it's whatever you want to use. But I use free conference call. But don't use anything where you cannot record the call. On free conference call, they give you a number. I think you got to pay like, I don't know, I think I was paying like $12 a month for free conference call. Even though it's free, I record my call. So I need storage and I want a number where you can just directly call. And then when I get on the call, I'm going to say, hey, you don't have to take notes. I'm going to let you know this call is recorded. When I finish, I'm going to send it to you, okay? Wait for them to say, okay, you press *9, and then it's going to say ready to record, and then you press 1, right? I think it's *9 and then 1. You want to record the call, okay? So now that you have recorded the call, we on the call good, and then we decide that we're going to work together. We decide like, okay, I've told you my price. You've told me your budget. We've agreed on a price. We agreed on a budget. We agreed on whatever we agreed on, okay? A lot of you are doing business backwards. A lot of you are sending proposals first. A proposal is just to wrap up what we talked about. A proposal is not to get work. A proposal is to close the deal of the work. So a lot of you are sending your best proposals out and you're wondering why nobody not talking to you, because you told me everything that I needed to do. You know, like you told me that this wrong on my business and I should do this and I should do this and I should do that and I should do this. So there's no purpose of me hiring you because you already told me what I need to do. So a lot of times, like when people like, oh, I want to pitch and I want to work with different organizations, I'm not about to just send you all my information over. I'm not sending you my best work. I'm not sending you my slide deck, my proposals, the people I've worked with. I'm not sending you my entire analysis of what I did in your business and how you should fix it and what you need to do and what that would look like, because you don't need me. The money is in the plan. I tell you that all the time. I get paid to plan. It's just my value proposition that I can do what's in the plan. But the money is in the plan. It's to tell somebody, I got all this. What I do with it? Help, right? Okay, well, since you got all this, let me tell you what you need to do with this, and this. That's where the money is in the planning, not in the doing. It's in the planning, not in the doing. The doing is what caps your income. Remember, we talked about that. I want you to cap your income on purpose. And once it's capped, we still need to be making money. So if you say I can only take 5 clients, when you take those 5 clients, you cap. You can't make no more money from a service perspective because you only got one brain and 2 hands. So you can't work with multiple people based on you saying you only can take 5 people. You could still sell courses, classes, training, speaking engagements, membership program. There's a lot of stuff we can do. Just because I'm capped from a service perspective, I ain't working with you all day on the service. Like, I this live. Like, I could do some other stuff. So when you are thinking about like these clients, you have to be clear. If you talk to 30 people today, you can't work with all 30 people today from a service perspective. So some of the people you going to, even if everybody have money to pay, you can't take them, right? So what you going to do? Like, where you going to put them? Okay, well, based on y'all 5, we could do a VIP day with us 5 together. And you don't got to work with me for 2 months. We just work together on this weekend. And then I'll give you 2 months of support to help you with what we came up with. So let me group you 5 together. Let me do a VIP day with you 5. Okay, this one, we could work together for 3 months because you don't have nothing. So I have to literally build that from scratch. So you don't have nothing for me to kind of put together. Like, you don't have nothing. So we got to work together for 3 months. These 5, we got something to work with. So I could just tell y'all what to do and then just put it together. But I need to do it for you. Right? But when you are doing these calls, you're doing these intakes, you know they budget, you know what makes the most sense. You're able to flow differently. So number 3 is proposals and contracts. Now that we talked, we gonna work together. Where you gonna go to pay? Like, how do we know the terms and the agreements? Like, how do we know what's going on? And for me, this is just the Bianca way. Put Bianca way in the comments. This is just the Bianca way. I want to make sure that you're woke. Put Bianca way. I'm gonna tell you the Bianca way. You can do whatever you want to do. I don't tell grown people what to do. I just advise. But I want to give you the Bianca way. Okay, thank you. Y'all sleep? Anyway, anybody there? Wake up. Okay. So for the Bianca way, right? We've already stop being anxious to get a person to pay. We already talked on the phone already that you were going to pay, right? We already discussed on the phone that you were going to pay already, right? We already know that. You already know what the budget is. I already know how much it's going to cost. Stop being anxious to get them to pay. Your contracts and proposals and agreements is way more important than this money. In order for us to do any type of work, you got to pay me anyway. So, in order for me to do anything, a payment has to happen. Stop being so excited to get a person to pay, but they don't put the contracts and the processes, procedures in place to protect you and the client. Like most people send the invoice first. Like, okay, send the invoice first. Once you send the invoice, I'm gonna send you all your paperwork. That ain't how it works. Because people will pay and then will never fill out that paperwork. Like never. Like they feel like they paid. I already told you I'm serious already. I'm not sad and all that. So for me, it's a reverse. What contracts, what proposals do you need to cover you? So the Bianca way is I send you a proposal. You look at the proposal, you tell me what you want to change, what you want to add, what makes sense. We come to an agreement based on because what I put in the proposal is what we talked about. Now that you done read it, you like, I want to add some more stuff. Well, that's a different type of fee. Like that ain't what we discussed. Like what we discussed is what's in this proposal. But now you're adding extra stuff. The price might change or it might stay the same. Like we don't know. So once we talk, my assistant will send over the recording. When she's sending over the recording, then me and her are working together to prepare the proposal. I've taught her really well, so she can write a proposal by herself with her eyes closed. She just need my little bit of boom, 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 and she's able to fill it out. But we work on the proposal together. She sends the proposal out. You have 48 hours to let me know if it's a yay or a nay. Like, yes, I want to work with you. Or, you know what, based on it, I've thought about it, and I want to hold off, whatever the case might be. Stop letting people have you in limbo. Like, I sent the proposal out a week ago. They didn't say nothing. Right. It's a no. Like, they didn't say nothing. It's a no. Go back out there and get you some more. Because they might not be ready right now. But we're not waiting for them. We're not waiting for them. We're not waiting for them. So proposal after payment agreement, but before payment. No. Yes. So okay, come on. So we talk on the phone. We agree with the price, everything. Send over the recording because you need time to do the proposal, right? But it takes 2 seconds to send over the recording. So I like to send over my recording first. Like, okay, it's over. Like right now, I'm on here. It's over. Soon, if this was a call, as soon as it's over, I'm sending you the recording. Because you have it. I told you I'm going to send it over to you. You might want to listen to it. And I need you to listen to it. Because I'm sending you this proposal over with this money. So I need you to listen to it. I need you to feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you like, yes, I'm serious. She's serious. I'm ready. Like, I need you to listen to this in your car. Because I'm going to send it over to you. And I'm going to say, hey, listen to this a few times. While I type up this proposal, listen to this call a few times. This what you said you wanted. We can help you get it done. But listen to it a few times and let me know if it makes sense. Like, let me know if this is something you really want to do while I'm typing up this proposal. Listen to it on your ride home. Listen to it when you're picking up your kids. Listen to it when you're in the shower. Listen to it before you go to bed. Because I'm trying to make you understand that this is an investment and this is what you said you wanted to do. I support you. But it's a mutually beneficial agreement. So I sent over the call first. The proposal, depending on like Tuesday and Thursday, today is my busy day. So I got lives, I got 15-minute calls, I got client calls, I got sessions. I have a lot of stuff going on Thursday. So I'm not able to write, my team and we're not able to write the proposals today. We're going to give it to you tomorrow. But that recording, it takes all of 2 seconds to send over. So send the recording over. That'll give you 24 hours to be able to write up the proposal to send it. So once you do the call, type up the proposal, then you send the proposal. And in the proposal, this is not a proposal writing class, but I feel like helping today. Have some options, right? Because option A could be, and I'm doing a 2-day proposal writing class. I do it every summer. But option A could be what we talked about. Like, let's just say we got on the call, we talked about it. It was $6,000, right? You know how much that is. Option B could be some extra stuff that I added in. So maybe option A is $6,000. Then maybe option B is $6,000 plus this, and this. So maybe it's like $8,000. Well, option C is 6 months of us working together. My team do it. You get everybody. So it went from 6,000 to like 8,000 to option C. It's like 70 grand. They're gonna go with option B, right? Like, cause 6 to 8, not a big jump. C, nah, I ain't going there, right? So when you sending out your proposals, right? We like options, just like when you go to the movies, because The Little Mermaid is about to come out. So, I'm going to the movies. But look at the popcorn when you go. It's usually $5, $7, and then $10. And you like, how I go from 5 to 10? Like, I'm gonna get the medium. Most of the time, the medium is the option that always sells the best because it's so close to the other one. It's like, oh, it's just $1. Oh, it's just like 50 cents. Okay, let me go ahead and get it. Oh, but that third option, it's like they had lost their damn man. You wanted to know, right? So when you're sending over your proposal, it has options in it, right? They need to weigh their options. Also, let's go back, right? Like, sure, let's go back. In your intake form, we can talk today. In your intake form, put on your intake form who else do you need to talk to make the financial decisions to invest in your business growth. Who else needs to be on this call? Your man, your mama, your granddaddy, your sugar daddy. Who else helps you with these financial decisions? Because I'm not talking to you, and then you like, well, let me talk to my husband. I want you and your husband on a call together. Like, I could wait. He get off work at 8 o'clock at night. No worries. We could get on the call at 8 o'clock at night. Because I'm not doing multiple calls. I'm not. Take your time. I'm not doing multiple calls. So because I get like, a lot of like housewives, right? Like, girl, I'm at home, but I really want to start this business and grow it. And my husband said it was cool, but I'm on my 9th business. So, girl, he ain't really for it. So, I need you to talk to him. No worries. No worries. No worries. What time he get off work, right? So I don't care. Who else I need to talk to? Because there's no point of you laying out your best sales pitch on the call and the whole time they don't have no money. They got to talk to that man. Where your man at? What a person with the money? who I need to talk to? Ain't no point of me talking to you. You already know you want to work with me already. I don't have to convince you. I need to talk to the person with the money. So where he at? When he get off? What time he gonna be available? He get up at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's okay. I could be up. Is he gonna be ready to talk at 1 o'clock in the morning? Because I'm gonna be ready. Like, is he gonna be ready to talk? So ain't no point in you going through all that and they got to get permission from somebody else, right? Ask early. Remember, the better the questions, the better the quality of person you are going to get. Okay. So put that in your intake form. Who else do you need to help with these financial decisions? If we agree to work together, is there anybody else that we need to talk to approve this financial decision? They're like, yeah, my man, or, whoever. Okay, I'll say, hey, I see you booked the call on Friday at 4 o'clock, but from the intake form, I seen that, you and your husband make financial decisions together. So will he be available for this call, or can I accommodate a time that works best where both of you are present? They're like, oh yeah, girl, I do. Cause I be trying to have him listen to the call and listen to the notes, girl, and he don't be getting it. So yeah, that'd be great. Right. What time is him available? So we can talk to him. So be clear about that. Cause a lot of y'all, but I've been doing I've been doing this for a long time. Okay. So let's go back to the proposal. Okay. It's usually your proposal. Once they say like, yes, this makes sense, like I don't need no changes, or I do want additional changes to it, you have to let them know. Once this proposal is signed, we can't add nothing else in here, okay? Once it's signed, it is nothing else we're adding into here, okay? So, are you sure? They're going to say yes. So, from that proposal, turn it into a contract. From that proposal, turn it into a contract. Ask me how you turn a proposal into a contract. How do you turn a proposal into a contract? How do you turn a proposal into a contract? How do you turn a proposal into a contract? How do you turn a proposal into a contract? Let me see how I will call that. And I'll call you later. Okay. My phone on, you know, when your phone be on airplane mode, it's people that can actually like come get through. Okay, so how you turn a proposal into a contract, right? You send over the proposal, whatever they want to add in, they can add in, right? Then you go in and you add the signature line. Like based on the terms and the agreements that we talked about, once both parties sign this is a binding agreement that cannot be changed. Sign below. Add your little line, add the other line for the person, and then you could put it in. Most CRM systems have contract signings, right? Like you got a CRM system, they've already merged with a third party, or they already have contract signing already in it already. So you send over the proposal. Now that you just sent over the proposal, if right, I like to make my proposal in Canva because it's not just a proposal; it's a business portfolio, and we could talk about that another day. But mine is a whole business portfolio. It's just not like, you know, baby, I've been doing this a long time. So it's excellent. Okay. So it's a whole, you know, process for me. So you can have them in Canva, man, be cute. However, my proposal is not cute. My proposal is in Google Doc, in Google Form. I mean in the Google Doc. And it's 2 pages. I'm really good at writing 2-page proposals. I got a whole live training that I do that I'm probably gonna do in a couple weeks on how to write a 2-page proposal. But my proposal will be 2 pages, okay? But that 2 pages is also inside of a business portfolio. So you got the business portfolio, right? That shows all our accolades, what we do, boom, whatever the case might be. Then you have the proposal, right? It's 2 pages. Once you review the proposal and you say, like, yeah, or I want to add something, or it makes sense, whatever the case might be, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go back into my Google Doc and I'm going to put my little words and I'm going to press that little dash and I'm going to, and then I'm going to put my name and then I'm going to put your name and I'm going to put my little line. And then I'm going to send it through HelloSign, or if your CRM has a place for it, you send it through that. Okay, now once this signed, right, where's your contracts and agreements? You know, for us, I always want you to sign a non-disclosure agreement. I want you to know that what we talk about and what we work on is between me and you. So I issue non-disclosure agreements on myself. I want you to be very clear that I take your privacy, you know, and what we talk about to heart, you know. So I don't want you to think like, yeah, I work with such and such and I work with such and such. Yeah, but I ain't telling such and such nothing we got going on. I'm not telling them our business. I'm not telling them what you launching. I don't operate like that. I operate in integrity. So yeah, just because I'm working with all of these people does not mean that I'm telling these people your business. And so to let you know how serious I am about it, I issued non-disclosure agreements on myself. So okay, now that you didn't sign, right? We use DocuSign, we use HelloSign. You can use whichever one works for you. But now that we've had that conversation, you know, I sent non-disclosure agreements. I sent a lot of agreements. Stop putting all, you know, when you get that long contract, you don't read it, you just sign it, and you just sign shit that you don't know that you signed. Right. And my stuff is fine print blown up. When I work with people, blow this fine print up. I don't know what that say. I'm not signing it. I need you to blow this fine print up. Cause I don't know what that say. Can you make it make sense for me? I ain't a lawyer. You a lawyer? Okay. I need you to blow this fine print up for me. So I'm very clear. Don't send me no contracts and no proposals with this little fine print and it's, you know, Times New Roman and it's 6 font. Like, don't do that to me. Blow this fine print up. So what are you saying? Like, what are the agreements? What do we agree upon? What we supposed to do? Okay, I need you to blow this fine print up for me. So for me, right, I do business. You got to do business how I do business. So if that's a deal breaker for you, then it's just not something. Because why you can't blow it up? Why you can't tell me in layman's terms what this means? Okay, well, did it so I do business how I want people to do business with me. So I'm very clear. I'm not giving you a 90-page contract and like, okay, sign it, and now something go wrong. And I'm like, but you signed it. Right. We didn't know what we were signing. I just wanted to work with you. I didn't know we was gonna have to go through all of this. So for me, I like to have separate addendums. So this is the tardiness addendum. This is the missed work addendum. This is the not turning in work addendum. This is the terminate contract. What's gonna happen addendum. So I probably got 6 or 7 different addendums that I want you to sign to. Right. Like, so this say that if I email you 3 times and you don't email me back within 48 hours or say anything, that I approve this and we're not going back to this phase. This says that if I ask you 5 times for this and you didn't do it, that means that this phase is skipped and we're not going back. And even though you paid for it, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So this phase is skipped and I'm not going back to this. So I'm very clear about, so you can know, don't waste my time because I'm here to work. And when you working with somebody, things happen in their life where it's no longer important to them. You have been working on a project and a client was really excited about it, and then they was excited for a couple weeks, and then they don't get excited no more. But you still working, and they not responding back to your emails. They're not answering your questions. They're not answering your calls because they now have checked out, but you still checked in, but they ain't told you they checked out. Yeah, we don't do that no more over here. We don't do that no more over here. Okay. So I'm very clear on, you got to tell me, because I'm basing it on our normal regular schedule program. So just because you checked out, I'm still here. Just because it ain't important to you no more, we still got 4 weeks left. And so I'm going to work these 4 weeks. The 4 weeks is over now. Just because you checked back in week 4, when I've been messaging you since week 1, and we still on this timeline. So project over. So I'm very clear about my addendums and my contract. So have them sign your addendums and your contract. Stop lumping it all together. Once they sign all your contracts, all your addendums, what you want to do, how it want to work, then you can send over the payment link, because you have enough to protect you and also to protect the client. Don't be in a rush to get the payment, because as soon as you don't protect yourself with your contracts and your addendums and all this stuff you need, all hell gonna break loose. Yeah, it's gonna break. It's gonna break if you don't protect yourself. So have your contracts and your addendums like in order. Okay, I'm not telling you what the contracts and addendum is. That sounds like a paid question when it's just a free live. Okay, so contracts and addendums. Number 4, you gotta onboard these people properly. You gotta onboard them properly. So for me, onboarding is just an email marketing system. Your onboarding is the same client. They bought the same stuff. So your onboarding could be just a generic onboarding. Hey, I'm super excited. We working together. This is the syllabus or this is the schedule. I'm super excited. Make sure you schedule your first call. This is the link for you to book the call. Hey, your call is coming up. Like, you can have an email sequence. So the 4th one is you need an email marketing system, because now that you have signed the client and y'all together, you don't have to manually do all that. I believe in spending my time based on what the client paid for. You want to spend time based on what the client paid for. You want to spend time based on what the client paid for. Everything else can be automated. So you can automate your onboarding process. You can automate your offboarding process, right? I'm all about automation with human components. So you can automate that. You need your standard operating procedures of, every time I onboard a client, what do I do? Like, we send welcome gifts. I don't need to message you personally to tell you to put your address in here to get your welcome gift. It's an email sequence. Once you sign this contract, once you made this payment, it already triggers for you to get these emails. Like, it already do it already. So once you've done it already and it worked, just put the processes in place so that you can continue to get those same type of results. Okay. So you gotta have your email marketing system. Now that we're working with a client, you got the email marketing system, right? You need a project management system. Right? It's a lot of moving pieces while you work with these clients. It's a lot of things that's due. You need to be as organized as possible. So for me, we start in the Google Drive. Like, I'm a Google girl. Like, I'm a Google Drive girl. So for me, that is my base. It just so happens that I like a base and a backup. So I use Google Drive because a lot of y'all be trying to force the client to learn y'all systems and, learn how y'all do stuff. I don't want to learn how to do your job. I'm trying to pay you and have you do your job. I don't want to learn how to use your system. I don't. That's gonna make me mad that you're trying to make me learn how to use your system. So some people are like that. Like, I don't want to learn how to do the system. I'm just trying to pay you, right? Like, can you make it easier for me? So for me, right, Google, everybody know how to use Google Drive, right? Everybody know how to put a checklist inside of Google Drive. Everybody know how to put notes inside of the Google Drive. Like, most of us know how to do that. But everybody don't know how to use the systems that you use, right? The notifications come. Sometimes I got to download an app. Like, it's just a lot. And you want to make the process as simple as possible. So for me, right, I'm all about communicating how the client wants to communicate, but I'm going to do what's best for my company. So I want to communicate how the client wants to communicate. So if the client say like, hey, I want to do Instagram. Like, I like, Instagram. I want to talk through Instagram. Another thing, don't develop all these stipulations now that you took my money. You know how you be in a DM and you be talking to somebody and they be so nice, they be showing up, they be so attentive to get your money. And now all of a sudden, now that they got your money, they like, oh, this ain't what we communicate at. This ain't what we do business at. You got to call this number, you got to email them. Like, but you were so receptive and nice. When before you were trying to get my money, now that you got my money, it's all these stipulations. Yeah, don't work with people like that, okay? Tell me the process early, right? If you trying to say that you don't do business in the DM and you only do business in email, let me know that. Like, hey, Bianca, I would love to continue this conversation, but for me to be able to properly help you, all business is done in my email. So I want to table this conversation over there. What is your email address so we can start it over there? Have your processes in order. If you don't want to keep talking to me in Instagram, tell me where you want me to go. But don't take my money and now you like, well, we don't do business on Instagram. Well, that's what we was doing business before. We don't do business on Facebook. That's where you took my money at before, right? So I'm all about communicating how the client wants to communicate. So if they want to communicate in Google Drive or, Google Hangout or, email or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, I'm cool with communicating however you want to communicate on your page. But our level of communication is email. So I'm going to say all of this sounds great. I'm going to wrap this up in an email and I'll send it over to you. So I'm going to wrap it up. Absolutely. I think that's great. Let me wrap this up in an email so I can send that over to you. Based on the voice note that you sent me, this is what I got. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up in an email and then I'm going to go ahead and send it to you, okay? So don't lose a client because they don't communicate how you want to communicate. They only communicate how they was communicating before you took their money. So just because they like to communicate on Instagram, you took my money in Instagram. So that's where I think we're communicating. Don't take my money and be like, oh no, we don't do that on Instagram. We do that over here. Well, you should train me early that's where I need to go. So train your people early as to where you want the communication to happen. But if I was communicating this way to give you my money, I'm expecting it to go this way. But now we work together and you got my money. Okay. So be clear. Be very clear. Be very clear. Okay. Don't say this live. They should have shown. I tell you all the time, you better come take notes, okay? So you need a project management system. I use Trello, Trello. I use Trello. I put it in a Google Drive, and then my team and we put it into Trello. But we put it in both systems because Google has been around for years and has never let me down. But these systems be having glitches. But I've never had a glitch in Google products, okay? So for me, just because this is your system of choice, you need to have a backup. You need to have a backup. Just because this is your system of choice, you need to have a backup, right? So build it in Google Drive, build it in Words. Like, I don't care where you build it, but you need a backup just in case the system that you using decide that you don't want to be in business no more. At least you have a backup. So that, and then I got a bonus, but let's recap real quick because I've been on here too long. Okay, so number one, the prospect. How you gonna get the prospect? Right. They got to get into a system. So they need a CRM system. Okay. You need a CRM system, a customer relation management system. You need a CRM system. Okay. I use Vecita, but you can use Honeybugs, you can use Dubsado, you can use whatever, right? It's the brains of the business. Okay. So now that I put my information into the system, how we gonna talk? Sidebar. Make sure you have a link, like something easy for you to remember, right? Like if a person say like, hey, I really want to work with you. How do I get on your schedule? I'm not sending them to kateandkateconsulting.com because now you got to weed through all of that. You just saying you want to get on the schedule. So I'm not trying to send you to my website. I'm trying to send you to the booking link. So know the link. Make a bit.ly link, bit.ly/work with Bianca. But for me, since I do this for a living, all those domains you purchase, because we're domain hoarders, all those domains you purchase, use one of those domains just for the domain. So yes, it's in your Honeybugs. Yes, it's in your Vecita. Yes, it's in your Dubsado. Like, yes, it's in that system, but it's a link. Take that link because it could be www.workwithbianca now, and that can take you to, my scheduling link. So the links that you use the most, get you a domain for the link that you use the most because it's easy to remember. Like, oh my God, I really want to work with you. Okay, we'll get on my schedule. Go to www.workwithbianca.com. I'm not going to remember http://www.vecita.com/schedule/ discovery call. Like, you're not going to remember that, and I'm not going to that. But I could definitely remember Work with Bianca now. Like, I could remember that. So get your link so that you can direct people to that link. Okay, like, get the link so they can go there. It's okay, you a domain hoarder. It's a whole business. So domain brokering. Okay. Also, too, let me just say this. Whatever, like, let's just say you got a business name, right? You thought of it. Get the domain for the business name. Once you get the domain, get all the social media accounts. You want the Instagram, the Pinterest, the Twitter, the TikTok, the YouTube, whatever social media platform they have for it, you want to get it. And I'm not a fan of like, oh, you got a business name now, trademark it. Like, that's not me. But if you're a trademark attorney, that's probably what you would say. People push what they sell. So, and it's no shade, but you ain't even started yet. You don't even know if this is what you want to do. Like, I've had like 6 businesses, and that means that if I trademarked them all, I would be out of so much money, and I didn't even really want them. So my thing is, if you buy the domain and you get all of the social media accounts, it's very hard for somebody to start the trademark on that because they don't have anything to show that it is of theirs, right? So if you get the domain and you get all of the social media accounts, it's very unlikely that somebody can trademark that because they don't have any proof of idea. They don't have any proof of concept. They don't have no domain. They don't have a social media. Like, they can't prove it. But what I don't want you to do is get the domain, get a couple social media accounts, but not one of them. My client just had to pay a person with, I think she had 8 followers, $1,000 on Instagram to change her Instagram name because that's her business name. So she never got the Instagram account. She's like, I don't do Instagram. I'm on Pinterest. Right. But you want to be on Instagram. Like, this is where we're trying to go now. So you don't have the name for it. So we had to pay somebody $1,000. I think she ain't had no more than 10 followers, and she didn't post since 2013. She had like 6 posts and haven't posted since 2013. So we had to find the girl, research the girl, get the girl attorney to actually find the damn girl, and the girl charged her $1,000 so she could change her Instagram name. Don't be that person, okay? Just because you're not using it now does not mean we're not going to use it later. Think big, stop thinking small. Right. You can't properly manage all those right now, but you're going to make this money. You're going to have a team. You're going to have multiple people doing everything for you. So you need to be able to have it, right? Even your kids, right? Even your kids, whatever your kid name is, buy the domain. Social media is not going anywhere. Like, it's not going anywhere. So get the domain and then get all of the social media accounts. Like, whatever the domain is, whatever your kid name is, it ain't just, okay, let me get the domain. Get all the social media accounts too. If they decide they don't want to use it, cool. But at least you have them and you don't have to be fighting with somebody now to change their name. The girl had no more than 10 followers, and we had to get her $1,000. $1,000 to change it, okay? So, two, where you gonna have a conversation at? Not ConvertKit, free conference call or Zoom, right? For the conversation. Stop giving out your personal number. Don't give your personal number out to clients, period. Okay. It start off as business and then it turns into, it's Saturday. Can you please do this for me real quick? It's Sunday. You ain't never had your doctor number, have you? Called your dentist? When you worked at your corporate job, did you get clients your number? Right. They had to wait till you came back to work. She absolutely knew her worth. I would have done my research and asked for some more bread. 1,000 would have been enough based on the volume that was going on. She lowballed it, but she also is a freshman in college. So 1,000, you're balling as a freshman in college. But yeah, she lowballed herself, but she made herself $1,000. She went like, oh, okay, yeah, I could change it. She was like, okay, that'll be $1,000. I was like, ooh, you gotta pay the woman my money. So yeah, number 3, you got to figure out where you're going to, how you sending these proposals and contracts, right? Sending the proposals and contracts. You're going to need a hello sign, a DocuSign, you're going to need something to send over the proposal and the contract so they can sign it. Now that they've signed the proposals and contracts, you need to onboard them and offboard them, right? That's email marketing. That's an automation that can literally happen in this, like it can easily happen. So set up the automation for that because it's the clients is the same. Like you're selling the same thing, they bought the same thing, so the process should be the exact same of the documents you need, the questions you need, the schedule, whatever the case might be. Another like side note, and then because I'm about to go because I got a training at 1:30. Schedule your follow-ups. A lot of you aren't good because you just don't follow up. Schedule your follow-ups. If you talk to a person, they like, hey, right now it's not a good time. My son, he graduating from high school. He about to go to college, but, as soon as September come, it'll be good. No worries. Put in your CRM system to follow up with Brittany August 23rd to see like, hey, I know your son going off to school. I know you said that you want to start working together in September. Let's do a call. Like, does, next week at 3:00, does that work for you so we can have a conversation? Put your follow-ups in the schedule of people that you talk to and they not ready, but they will be ready. Right. Follow up. The money is in the follow-up. But we don't have that type of time to be thinking like of a follow-up. Like just put it in the system. Also, when you're working with a client, put your touch points in there. No update to me is an update. So I would rather you say, hey, Bianca, we don't have no update as of now. I'll brief you if something does come about, but we don't have an update as of now. But I appreciate, you choosing to work with us. I like that. I send as many emails every day, all day, because I don't want you to ask me what's the status of anything. Where is this at? I haven't heard anything. I'm going to make sure you hear from me first. So I like to schedule all of my correspondence. And I tell my team too, even if one thing changed, let them know. Hey, I just want to let you know that based on, what you said, we've updated that. Hey, I would rather you have a whole bunch of emails than no emails at all. And some clients be like, well, I don't want to be bombarded with emails. Don't open them then. Just don't open them. Don't open them. Because what you're not going to say is I paid them the money and I only received one email from her out of the whole time we was working together. Right. That's one thing you won't say. Make sure your paper trail is tight. Okay. You need an immaculate paper trail. Okay. I'm talking about a great one. Okay. Because people like to play with something safe and they be thinking that it's you. Okay. People be liking to play with something safe and they be messing up thinking that it's you. So make sure you have a really good paper trail, okay? Hey, I know that's what we talked about last week, but based on what we said, I did this. Can you respond back to let me know if you're in agreement with this? Hey, I know we talked about this. You made the changes to this, and you made the changes to this, and I stated that this one's going to work out, but you said you wanted to do it anyway. So I'm just letting you know, based on what we said, I didn't agree with this. You did this, so this is the outcome. Are we in agreement with that? Oh, yeah, I know that's what you said, but, I decided that I wanted to go that route. Cool. Cover your ass. The smallest. I'm talking about the smallest detour. Hey, You were supposed to go live at this time. You didn't go live at this time. You went live at this time. That wasn't the peak time that we talked about. And so based on that, that's why you only got 3 people to show up. But if you would have went at that time, we could have had 30 like we had last week. And so, I just want to let you know, based on, you not showing up at that time is the reason why we got these results. Let's try to stay on schedule next week. Okay? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Whatever the case might be. Keep you an immaculate paper trail, okay? Like, paper trail. Okay, and then you need a project management system. Let's take some questions. I got time for 3 questions. So let's take some questions. So let's go through price. So your CRM system, it will probably be the most expensive thing. Sometimes I got free trials. Sometimes it's $12. Sometimes it's $20, whatever the case might be. Number 2, have the conversation. Free conference call, Zoom, Google Hangout, that shouldn't be no more than like $12. Okay. Proposals and contracts. You can use HelloSign if you want to. That's probably like $12. Okay. Onboarding and offboarding, that's an email marketing system. I don't know. Like you can use MailChimp. I think that's still free for the first like 500 people or something like that. Or like Send Out or like Constant Contact or something like that. Just because, and I know we all fall privy to that. Like, okay, I like that person. They use this system, so let me use that system. I spent a lot of money using systems that I see other people using whole time. Their businesses at that level where they can use that system. So don't just be buying systems because somebody else like uses that system. You have to figure out what works best for you. Like Kartra and Kajabi. I bought them a long time ago, but I don't like all-in-one systems. I know a lot of people do, but I don't like all-in-one systems, right? Like I don't. Yes. So Tiffany, let's talk about that. The person that you're working with, it's easy to use the system that they use because they'll train you in those systems. Like when I'm building for a client, I'm not learning your system. If you want me to build something for you, you have to get on the systems that I use. I'm not learning the systems that you use. Right? So when you're working with a person, it makes more sense to use the systems that they use so that they can educate you and help you and troubleshoot. But you can ask me, I use Thinkific. I don't know what's going on in Kartra. I don't know what's going on in Kajabi. Like, I don't know. I don't know if they have those features. I'm not researching it either. That's not my platform. That's yours. You're going to have to figure that out on your own or use the systems that I use. So a lot of the times you waste so much time, energy, and effort trying to get on the client's page when if the client wants to work with you, they're coming to you for your processes, for your systems and how you do it. They have to get on your page, not you getting on their page. It's a million people you're going to work with. You can't get on everybody's pages. So if this is our standard operating procedure and this is what it is, this how it's going to work. Good question. So for my CRM system, I use Bcita, Bcita. For my calls, I use Zoom now for my calls. But it's a like it's a link. It's a designated link for it. For my proposals and contracts, I use HelloSign. For my onboarding and offboarding, I use my email marketing system, which is ConvertKit. And then for my project management system, we use Trello. And for all of my digital products, we use Thinkific. But we also used to use Gumroad, Gumroad. Gumroad is very user friendly. So let me not say I've used them since I started selling digital products, and it's only $10, and it was really easy. It was really affordable. I could take this live broadcast right now, take it down, and put it up within 5 minutes and make some money. So Gumroad was very simple and easy to use. But now they have went up on their fees, they went up on their percentages, and they've added more stuff to it. So I don't no longer use them anymore. But I use them for like 7 years. Yeah, for like 7 years. So Gumroad is a good platform. I'm not sure about their fees and their percentages and stuff now because that's not no longer where I'm at. But yeah, they made a lot of upgrades. I seen that tip. They had like and Gumroad used so a lot of, and we're not talking about pitching right now, but a lot of systems that I use, they're now my clients. I believe in pitching where you've already spent money already. So Basita is a current client of mine. Gumroad used to be a client of mine. They're no longer a client of mine. Free Conference Call used to be a client of mine. They're not a client of mine anymore. So I believe in pitching where I've already spent some money. I believe in pitching where I have some skin in the game, right? So Basita, they're still my client. So I'm going to continue to use their platform. And even when they're not a client of mine, I like the platform. So I'll probably still, use it. So, yeah. What other questions do you guys have? Let me see. Any more questions? Never thought of that. Thanks. You're welcome. No worries. Okay, so I have a product-based business that I don't sell, and so I'm gonna make a post about these boxes that I got. I got these boxes, and I need y'all to buy a box because I can't ship all this stuff with me. Okay, and so the boxes is, instead of being $60, I'm selling them for only $12, and so it's an affirmation calendar, and it's a journal, and it's a pen. I'm about to start promoting it real crazy because I need to get rid of these products because I have new products coming in. Okay. So I'd appreciate it if y'all can give me $60 because I need you to go buy 5 boxes. Let me go buy 5 boxes. The proposal class is gonna be the 3rd week of June. Because we do how to do a 2-page proposal. It's gonna be the 3rd week of June. The investment for it is $4.99. And it's a 2-day training. So to learn how to write a 2-page proposal is a virtual class. I only take 20 people for the class. The investment for it is $4.99, and it's going to be the 3rd week of June. So the first class, I show you how to write a proposal, tell you what to do. That next week, you should have already wrote your proposal, and I'll review it for you and give you feedback. So it's going to be the 2nd or 3rd week of June. But yeah. I'm going to be in your pop-up class you have in a few minutes. You're right. I got a pop-up class in 8 minutes. Yeah, but the proposal class, yeah, is going to be the 2nd or 3rd week of June. It's always on a Tuesday. We're going to do the class on a Tuesday lunch, and then you got a week to come back, and it's going to be on another Tuesday where I review it for you. So yeah, and the investment for it is $4.99. So just get your money together. The proposal, right? Show you how to write a 2-page proposal, a winning 2-page proposal, okay? And I'll give you my templates too. I don't know. I just believe when you pay for something, I should give you the templates that I use to, train you on it. So you'll get like the actual template for you to be able to like just plug and play. So yeah, I got you. Any more questions? No more questions? No more questions? Okay, so we're doing the 2-day proposal writing class. I'm doing a 5-day mindset shift challenge. I'm sorry, a 31-day mindset shift challenge, and that's $31. We're doing the 6-month membership. You can always book a 2-hour planning session with me. So we got a 2-hour and a 4-hour. You can book that. I think that's all I got right now. And I got these boxes. Oh, I got these boxes. Okay. I need you to buy a Turn Your Cocky Up box. If you go to turnyourcockyyup.com and enter the promo code winner, you can get a box. Okay. Just get a box. But if you're watching this on the replay, I'll keep it up for 24 hours. So if you're watching it, share it. Okay. And what's going to determine if I keep this up on a replay is how many people that share it. So if I get 20 people that share it, we got 31 people in here. We got 20 people there. So if I get 20 shares of this, of you sharing it, then I'll keep it up. Okay. If I get 20 shares, I'll keep it up. So our planning session. So our 2-hour planning session, the investment for it is $1,900. If you want to do the 4.5-hour one, it's $5,600. So our 2-hour planning session is $1,900. The investment for it is $1,900. And then we can do a half day. I think it's $5,600. Any more questions?